Hi, welcome bitches to the Transformation Nurse Academy podcast. This is this is part two of an episode with Alicia. No, I can't see you. Don't tell me. Don't you fucking tell me. Alyssa? No, Alicia Tresidder. How'd I
Oh,
do
look
that
at
time?
you. You
Ah,
did
look at
good.
that's a fucking hard because it's not spelled. The way it sounds, not the way it's spelled and shit. So it fucks me up. Alicia Tresidder. So
There
we
you
ended up
go.
last time with the first part. We ended up with you talking about, unfortunately, talking about how your uncle had molested you as a child. We didn't get into the details, and now how you were a sick individual and you took on his fucking stepdaughters and shit to help them out. Because I don't think I would be loving enough to do that shit. I'm like, you ain't. I know it sounds terrible to me, but you and your stepdaughters can live together and shit. But I know it's not their fault. But it just
Right.
makes me crazy that they fucking wouldn't if you didn't listen to part one, go back and listen to interview part one so you can understand what the fuck we're talking about, bitches. But it makes me sad that you can't even have your family members in the same house because you got to worry about people molesting you and shit. That's why I got four girls, and I never, when they bring their daughters over, I mean their friends over, I'm never around and shit. I'm like, I don't want to be a part of that. Don't come into my
Mhm.
room and shit. You better keep your fucking
Mhm.
clothes on because I don't want to get in trouble. Not that I have these thoughts, but I just don't want to even be somebody using that to their advantage and shit. But all right, so
Right.
you keep going. You talk about your finish talking about your uncle and how you're helping out his damn kids. Do they still live with you?
So no, so they're all
Right.
grown. They're older. So when I found out he had
Are they gonna
proposed to,
listen to this shit?
no, I
All right.
doubt it.
Okay. All right.
So when he proposed to their mother, I pulled her aside at my Mima's house and I let her know. The family was pissed, but I was like, I could give two shits what you think. I said, I can't consciously not say anything. So I
Right.
let her know that, he had molested me and my sister and that you should be aware because you have four beautiful daughters that are absolutely amazing. And I just want you to know what you're getting into.
Right.
And she still chose to marry him. They're now divorced. But I
Did
got
she see the
them.
light?
She did. Yeah, finally. Finally. But and they both were on drugs and stuff, and I
Hmm.
don't I think she's clean now. I could give care less about him, but so I got the girls and then they had two kids of their own. So they had a total of six. And then I ended up taking them all in when my daughter was 5 months old.
But did he do certain things to his own kids or just the
We
stepdaughters?
we don't know. That
Oh,
still never
what
came out.
what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Just
My
speculation.
thoughts,
Just speculation, of course.
yeah, just speculation. I would say yes because on one of them at least, only because the things that she would say to him and he would have her call him and all of
Mm.
that and he would call her is exactly what he made me do.
Oh shit. So he's the groomer.
Yeah.
I got you. See, that's fucked up. That's even
So,
more fucked up. So
yeah.
that's
So
craziness.
that's where I think that yes, but it never came out and maybe they don't even know cuz their situation was bad.
And does your mama
Um
know about this?
yes.
And have you ever tried to talk to her saying, see, you didn't believe me and now he's fucking doing it to other motherfuckers?
Yes.
And she won't even acknowledge it, will she?
No.
Is that
And
her
I
brother?
yes.
So maybe that's why. Maybe she doesn't want to face reality that her own brother could be, fucked up and shit. I
Mhm.
know it's terrible,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. I know. And that's it. And I leave it at that. I'm like,
I know, but still,
I can't
I
change
can't
it.
leave shit alone. I know you can, but I
I
can't
know.
leave shit alone. So, and look, there's a
And
common
that's
thing. Your
okay.
mom, your stepdad. No, you're not your step. Your real dad, who was who turned out not to be your real dad, was into heroin, and your mom's brother is into heroin or drugs. Should I say? I don't
Mhm.
know heroin, but drugs. Was your
Yeah.
mom into drugs?
No.
But see the
No.
common theme and shit that's going along the
Yeah.
lines here. You know,
Exactly. Exactly. And that's exactly it. And I mean, my aunts, they smoked pot, whatever, it's legal now. but they would have parties. I remember seeing a guy get stabbed. We had to stay at the house because they were having, it was an adult party, and like literally we lived across the street from each other in a
Right.
cul-de-sac. And I was upstairs, and I just remember hearing people screaming, and this guy come out holding his stomach, and I guess something happened. He got stabbed, and I was like, I should not be seeing these things. Like, what is this? You know?
I
Oh, and
got you.
I was so excited to see the fire trucks and the paramedics, and I was like, "What is that? Oh, what are you doing? What's that thing? Oh, that's so exciting." My stepdad, he knew about it, and he did everything in his power to keep him away from me, and he was the first man that was ever safe in my life. And
What
him and
made
I were
him?
very close.
Now you're gonna make me ask this question. When you say
That's fine.
close, now you talking
No,
about
no, no.
close. I know,
No,
but see what I mean. But people may think the
yeah.
same thing because as a young
No.
girl, how? Let me
Mhm.
go back. Let me go back a step. How old were you when your uncle molested you?
3.
And did it happen more than once?
Yes.
So I bet you anything, if your daddy, the one that wasn't really your daddy, would have found out, he probably would have gave him an extra dose of heroin and shit. I'm assuming,
Oh,
but
yeah.
so
They
it
were best
happened from.
friends.
See what I mean? But if I found out my best friend was diddling my daughter, I would have gave
Mhm.
him an extra dose of heroin and shit. You know what I mean? So I
Mhm.
mean, but my question is, at from 3 years old to when?
Till I was 12. I didn't realize what he was doing was wrong until I was in, class. We was in a home ec class in Georgia, and, like, they teach you to cook, sew, like, health part, and then they started talking, that came up in class, and it was part of the health education. And they were talking about being safe, and that it doesn't matter who it is, that you say something. And I was like, oh, and they were talking about, it could be anybody, it could be a teacher, it could be the neighbor, it could be a friend, it could be
Now
anybody,
I'm
it could
gonna
be
go off the
somebody at
deep end.
church.
Now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
go off the deep end because my mind can't help but my mind. So you said
Okay.
your dad, who's not your dad. I don't even know what to call that motherfucker now, but I guess you see him as your dad. He died of hepatitis D.
Mm-hmm.
Did he share needles with that same friend, your mom's brother, who fucking molested you?
I don't know.
See what I mean? But if he did,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably why you got tested. Because if you did, that's probably why they made you guys get tested so much. Because he's like, well, if he's your dad's friend and he's hepatitis D positive, and he was being molesting you, because they had to find out that they were molesting you.
They didn't, nobody found out until I was 12. And actually,
But
so the
maybe they
family
did.
found out.
Maybe they did know, and you just
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
know.
maybe.
See what I
That's
mean?
true. That's
Maybe your
true.
mama knew and she just didn't want to tell you and shit because maybe when your dad died of hepatitis D, your uncle woke up and said, "Oh fuck, maybe I fucked him up." See what I
Yeah.
mean? Because maybe he's got
Mhm.
hepatitis D.
Yeah.
So maybe that's something that you should think about. I don't know, trying to cause trouble. But think about the girls that grew up. Maybe it's because I learned that hepatitis D, like the old people, it can stay dormant for a long time. So maybe
Mhm.
they should get tested.
Yeah,
You ever think about that?
definitely. No, I didn't.
See
That's
what I mean?
that's
Because
yeah.
a lot of older people now, like in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they got blood transfusions way back in the day, and we didn't really test for this shit. And they're finding out that the hepatitis is staying dormant, and now that they're getting older, they're converting, and hepatitis is coming back to the forefront on them and shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's true.
just
That's
think
true.
about that. I couldn't help it. My
Yeah, that's a
my
good
mind
thought.
went out.
No,
Sorry. All right.
I appreciate it. So my stepdad, my mom got with my stepdad, Wes, when about 8 months after Billy had died. And he raised me until he passed away. So,
And
which
what
he
did he
passed
pass
away.
away from?
He passed away from his, it was PES, um pulseless electronic,
Oh, pulseless
um
electrical activity.
thank you.
Yeah, but
And
that's
so,
that's just a rhythm and shit. But what do they know what causes death? That's just a rhythm.
they think for, oh, so he was septic,
Mm.
and he was in the hospital, and he had gotten 32 liters of blood. He was in the hospital for 6 weeks.
Did you say 32 liters of what?
Blood?
Holy fuck. That's a
Yeah.
lot of blood.
He had a bleed and they couldn't find it.
Well, it's probably
So he was
esophageal
septic.
varices bleed of some sort, or maybe hepatic bleed from having the hepatitis. And,
Yeah, so I don't he didn't have hepatitis, my stepdad.
oh, your stepdad.
Yeah, my
So
stepdad.
they still don't know where he had. That's right. See, I get confused. So you don't know where
That's
they don't
okay.
know. Did they? They still don't know where the bleed was from.
No,
Did he
they
drink?
never found it. He used to be an alcoholic, yes.
See, so he could have had esophageal varices, or he still could have had some type of bleed in the liver somewhere. Some that you know.
Mhm.
But how could they not
Yeah,
find it? I mean, are we not fucking in
I
the
know.
21st century? Can't find this shit.
Well, and it was interesting because I was in clinical. It was my
What
first
hospital
rotation
did
at
he pass away in?
Banner in Arizona.
Damn. All right.
I have all of his records. You're more than welcome to read them.
Yeah, I'd like to read that shit.
Oh, it's this thick because I
Yeah.
requested all of it.
Yeah, I'd like to read it and go through it. I like that stuff.
It
I'm a geek when it comes to that.
I do too. I
Yeah.
do too. But so he was septic and he had a bleed and he was bleeding annually and anally, sorry my
Mm.
speech. And he had passed out on the toilet and there was blood everywhere and he was unconscious. And so they called
Colon cancer.
they don't know.
Did they check that?
They had been screening him, but he had just moved back to Arizona
I
and
know, but they
so
didn't do
he
a colonoscopy when he was bleeding rectally. They didn't do a
nope,
colonoscopy. What the
nope.
fuck? Why wouldn't
I
you check
know.
that? I
I
mean, that
know.
don't make sense.
Yeah. So
How long
then
ago
he
was
just
this?
2010.
Holy shit, that's
Mhm.
craziness.
Yeah, he died April 5th, 2010.
Mm. That makes
It
no
was
sense, does it?
no, it doesn't. And so he was him and he was my rock. He was protective of me. He came to my choir performances. He
Oh,
got
you were
me
in
into
choir too?
sports. I was in
Do
choir.
we talk about this the last time we met? When the first time we met? Because I was in choir too. I won.
I don't think so.
I won medals and shit when I was in choir
Oh,
in
did you?
junior high and shit. Yeah,
Oh, look at you. No, I got
yeah.
to sing at Columbia Community College.
Look at that. See.
Um, and then I was in volleyball, love volleyball, and I was in track.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
So in high
my
school.
youngest son's in track, and my youngest daughter is in volleyball now. See.
Mm,
See. You could be
I
the
love it.
female version. You could be the female version of Kevin.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. So but he came to everything, and I remember one time in high school, I was waiting and waiting and waiting. Nobody was picking me up, and this and that, and my mom was busy gambling at
Oh
Chicken
fuck.
Ranch and left me. And so then I called the 911 because there was some drunk at the high school. And I'm like, oh my gosh. They had to take me to the police station. And then my grandma had to scrounge up money to get me a taxi all the way home, which was 45 minutes. And I was like, oh my goodness.
My lord.
So that
Why
was
your grandmother couldn't
difficult.
drive?
Yeah, she didn't have a car. She couldn't drive.
Now,
So
where was your stepdad out of all this?
he was at the casino with her, but he thought that my mom had told him that I was riding the bus, but my mom told me not to ride the bus. I said, okay. So I did it.
All right.
It
When he
was
found out,
stressful.
was he mad?
Oh, yeah. He was so mad. He was like, are you kidding me?
What the fuck is wrong
He,
with you?
yeah, he had a lot of health issues growing up. So he worked in printing. He worked at King's
Mm,
Printing. And back then, it was in the 80s. And they had let this chemical in, this ink, and it ate
mm,
holes in his lungs. So he had miner's lungs.
mm. I
So
got
he
you.
was in and out of the hospital and constantly intubated, all of that. So I was in the hospital a lot because when he was in the hospital, I was in the hospital. Like I
Right,
wanted to be there with him and visiting and watching the nurses and watching the doctors. And I was just so fascinated by all of that. And I was like, I want to do this.
right,
I want to take care of people, because I wanted to be able to take care of my dad.
right.
And that was my goal. And, always.
Because he's been
And
taking care of you.
Yeah.
I
And then
get you.
he got into a really bad car accident on his way to Chicken Ranch to pick up my mom. He
See,
hit a
y'all got a lot
boulder.
of fucking bad juju around y'all ass. Y'all need some fucking
Yeah,
cleansing and shit.
I'm telling you. And so he hit a boulder and broke his back. So it
What the
shattered
fuck?
his back. And so
So
he ended up
minor
having.
lungs, a broken back.
Mhm. And so
Mm,
I was helping him because they do the cast and stuff,
right,
which
right.
back, and they
Like a
they
body cast.
yeah,
The one
and
from the titty,
yep,
rub your titties down,
yep,
like you
and
seen
then
a
his
fucking.
yes, which turned into a mold because his belly ended up filling that mold, and
Oh
he could
shit!
never get rid of it after that. But it
Wait,
was
wait. What do you
great.
mean his belly filled up the mole?
So it was a plastic one, right? And
Right,
it had the Velcro on the sides. Well, they made it where the belly could expand, you know, bloating, whatever,
right,
eating,
right.
whatever. Well, his belly just kind of grew into it,
Mm.
basically. And so then he always had a pot belly after that.
You sure that one
I
from
used
the
to make fun
drinking?
of him.
Cause I got a
Oh, I
pot
know
belly
it
too,
was.
but I can't get rid of either because I won't stop drinking. I
Right.
got skinny. I got skinny and now I'm fucking fat again because I started drinking again and shit. See.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I used to call him Buddha Belly, and
Mm.
so it was funny.
That
But
shit ain't fucking funny. If we called y'all Buddha belly, y'all be fucking mad at us and shit. Don't be
well,
fucking
his
lying
was
and
hard
shit.
as a rock. It was
Well,
hard
mine's
as a
hard as a rock too, but still though.
rock.
So
I'm just gonna start calling you Buddha Kevin.
Buddha Kevin. Yeah. All right,
Buddha
so
Kevin.
I'm gonna ask you a question here. So I'm assuming because my question was what motivated you to become a nurse, but you just told us because you
Yeah.
spent a lot of time in the hospital with
Hmm.
your stepdad and stuff. You wanted to take care of him, but um, talk about how you. My question is, can you describe your journey through the nursing school? Because you went through Westmed College in Merced. That.
Yes,
Were you a CNA before you were an LVN?
I was not.
So you went straight to
My
nursing school.
I went straight to nursing school. My mom. Fun fact: my mom was a CNA.
Oh.
And that was I loved going there and visiting her and her patients. And she always
Mm.
they used to get to bring grandma's home for the holidays, and she would
No
adopt one.
way.
Back
That
in the
seems
day, yes,
illegal. That
I
seems
know, but
illegal.
in
You
the
fucking bring a
80s,
patient out of the nursing home to your home
yeah,
for the holidays.
I know
That's
it's
that fucking
illegal.
seems illegal and
I'm
shit.
telling you. So, but
That's
I
called
loved
fucking
it.
kidnapping.
I loved it. But so yeah, so I went to nursing school. I woke up one day and I said, my youngest by that time, she started kindergarten. I said, okay, it's my time now. I done took 11 years off, raising six girls. I'm done. It's my time. So I started taking classes at Merced College and started my prereqs and stuff like that. And then West Med opened up their enrollment instead of once a year to twice a year.
All
So I
right.
said, "Oh, let me do that. Let me try. Like it doesn't hurt to try." So I did, and I got in, and so I dropped the classes at Merced College and was working full time. I still had four girls home at the time, and my
Your uncle's
husband,
girls or your girls?
two of my uncle's stepdaughters, and then my two youngest.
I got you. Okay.
And so I was still working full
How,
time. My
how many fucking
husband,
kids you got of your own?
six. Oh,
Of your
two
own.
of my own, two.
Two and then four. I got you. Okay. Keep going. Sorry.
And then so my husband says, "Yeah, babe, that's what you want to do. Do it." I said, "Okay." And so it was night classes, so it'd be from 2 to 10:30. So
Did you
I
have
would
that
get up.
old white lady that was the charge of the school that she passed away?
Yes, well, yes, I
That's
did.
that's the
I
one, right? I don't
did.
remember her name, but that's the one that I think a
Penny.
lot of people. I don't Penny. I don't know if people liked her or not, but
No, she was amazing.
yeah, was she the one that everybody loved?
Yes.
And then after she passed
Yeah,
away, then the place kind of fell apart. I
it
don't even know if
did.
they're still open or not, but
No,
see what I
they're
mean?
not. They're
Because
closed.
everybody loved her and shit, and then once she left, it kind of fell apart.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want to say it was Penny. I'm pretty sure it was Penny. I could be wrong, so don't quote
Yeah,
me on
it's all
that.
right. No, I
But
got you.
um it was great. It was a great experience. It was accelerated.
What does
But I
that
love
mean,
that.
accelerated?
So you did one chapter a week. So we would study that chapter, go over that chapter, and then it was exam. Next chapter, exam. Next
How long
chapter,
was the
exam.
program?
18 months.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. And I loved it though. It was so amazing to learn and do. Um, and clinicals was amazing. I remember feeling nauseous when we were doing our sign-offs and our check-offs, and I was
So where
like,
did
"Oh
you go
man,
to
I'm gonna
clinic?
throw up."
Where did you go to clinicals though?
So at that time, there was not a contract with the hospital, so we did Dos Palos,
How long
and
ago
then
was this
we
that you graduated?
I graduated 2010,
2010. That's right, because
so
that's right when we
14
first
years ago.
started. We started in 2009 doing this.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's right. Yeah,
yeah,
there weren't
and
very
so
when we first started.
mm-mm,
There weren't very many. I don't think there were any LVNs in the hospital. If there were, there were only like maybe one or
mm-mm.
two. And now look,
Yeah,
fucking 15 years later, there's a shitload of them. Crazy. Yeah.
exactly.
All right.
It is. It is. And so we did Dos Palos and then we did Castle. So we got to do the urgent care, Castle, OB, and then
Well, so
just
you got
clinical
some hospital
doctors.
clinicals and stuff though. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then also while I was in nursing school, I got to do hospice. They allowed student nurses to do some hospice home care.
Yeah. I think that's
So I
nice.
got to do that. And it was a lot of fun though, but we didn't get to do hospital. I was bummed, but I was like, that's all right.
Yeah,
I
but you
didn't
said you did
mind.
OB,
Yeah, OB, urgent care.
but OB's are not in the
Um,
hospital.
no, it was the OB clinic,
OB
so
clinic. Yeah, but still,
outpatient.
you get to see
Yeah,
a lot of shit though. That's still good. Yeah.
exactly. We did. I signed up for every flu clinic. Very important. Sign up for every flu clinic. We did one out at UC. I think we did two, and I signed up for the flu clinic out at UC, giving flu shots to everybody. That was nice. And then the sports physicals, I did all of those. Everything that I could sign up for, I did.
I'm gonna ask you a controversial question.
Okay.
You graduated LVN school. We know a lot of RNs come out and say that LVNs aren't real nurses.
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
Um, all of the RNs that I know
I didn't
don't
say
agree with
all. I
that.
didn't say all
I
RNs.
know,
I
but
said
some do.
some of the RNs say that LVNs are not
Yeah.
real nurses.
Yeah. It bothers me. And it bothers me because we put forth that work as well. We dedicate ourselves to nursing. We dedicate ourselves to patient care and working as a team.
Wait,
And
wait. Working
it
as a
really
what?
as
Working
a
as a what?
team,
Right,
as a
because we're all a
team.
fucking team, bitches.
Yeah,
Right,
it does not matter.
right.
And so it angers me.
Let me ask you this
And
though, because there's a crazy lady on fucking TikTok who's stirring the motherfucking pot. Because on the other side, and she's an LVN, LPN, I don't know what she is, because LVNs are here in the West Coast, LPNs are like Texas East Coast, but it's the same
yeah.
thing. But this bitch is on fucking TikTok saying there's no difference between LVNs and RNs, and that doesn't
That's
help the situation because that's
it
not what.
doesn't. That's not correct.
That's
There is
not
a
correct.
huge
I'm not saying
difference.
you're less than us, but what's the difference between
No.
an LVN and an RN?
So there's many differences. So the difference between an LVN and an RN, first of all, the RNs, you get trained more in different procedures. You can push meds through IVs that we cannot.
Scope of practice,
Um, exactly. Your
right?
scope is different. There are more skills that you learn than an LVN can learn. We
Well,
can't.
the thing is that's here in California because in other states, I don't know if it's still the same, but in other states, LVNs can push more medications in other states, and that's
Hmm.
what I think she's trying. But I just don't think her message is quite clear because, like in
No.
Texas, in the military, when I was a nurse, and we weren't considered an RN, we were considered a licensed nurse. They didn't say
Hmm.
LVN, they didn't say LPN, they would just say licensed nurse, and nobody knew the fucking difference. But in
Hmm.
Texas, other states, as an LVN or LPN, you can push medications. You can give IV antibiotics. You can do a
Hmm.
lot of things that you can't do here in California.
Yeah.
But I think that when people share that information, they need to be more specific because it causes a lot of
Agreed.
divide. So,
Hmm.
but are you glad? Are you glad you're an LVN? Are you upset that you didn't move on to become an RN, or do you give a shit?
Uh, I love being an LVN. I did, and I know this will come up in our next in our next stuff to come.
Right.
Um, I did complete all my prereqs for the RN. I
Oh
did
shit.
continue on
But you didn't fucking
as
finish it.
I finished. I
You
did
finished
finish.
everything. You just needed to get into fucking RN school.
Yes,
But you can't or you don't want to.
I can't.
All right, and we'll talk about that because that's why
Yes,
we're here and shit. I got you. All right,
yeah.
I got that. I like that
So,
shit.
but I did continue, and I did as an LVN. What people need to know: you're not. First of all, you're not just an LVN, and I make this same mistake. You're not just an LVN.
That's because you're
I
programmed to say it because you hear it so much that you can't. I'm just an LVN. Take that
exactly,
shit back, bitch. You're not just an LVN. You're still a nurse.
ex-
You may not be a
exactly.
registered nurse, but you're still a nurse. It's just your scope is a
Mm-hmm.
little different than ours, but doesn't mean that you can't do what we do. I mean, you can't
Exactly.
technically, but you doesn't mean you can't learn it and move on and shit if you want.
Exactly. I learned everything that I possibly could as an LVN. I got my IV blood draw certification.
And
I
wait,
went.
where did you get that IV blow
I
draw
got that
certification
with.
from?
I got that with you
I don't, but you know how
14
fucking,
years
I don't,
ago.
but you know how crazy this is. Like, I'm not a big person to toot my own horn, even though I do have a
You
big
should.
ego and shit. But back when we first started this in 2009, there was hardly, I don't think there was any, maybe nobody, or maybe one or two people in the valley that used LVNs. There were maybe a handful, probably could count them on one hand. IV therapy wasn't a thing, but now look at this 15 years later, almost every hospital and
Hmm.
LVN job requires this shit. So I basically, me and Miss Pat basically changed the whole fucking Central Valley in regards to
Absolutely.
LVNs and IV. That's crazy to look back and think about that shit. But nobody
Absolutely. And
knows
that,
that shit. Nobody even knows
no,
about us here. I get people who come here. I'm like, we didn't even know you existed. I'm like, what the fuck? We've been here 15 years. Like, I don't know
how do
how to get
you
my
not
message
know?
out. I don't know how to get my message out. Like, how the fuck do you not know about us and shit?
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
crazy.
I
But
think you're off to a good start, though. I
what do you
really
mean
do.
good start? We've been doing this 15 years, you know?
Well, but now look at you. You're coming up and even doing more. But I will tell you. So your class helped me a lot. So in Dos Palos, I started working in Dos Palos, and we would get in the middle of the night. We would get alcohol blood draws.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh my gosh, how fun was
Yeah.
that? Oh, I loved it. It was amazing. But, and in skilled nursing, I could start an IV and
Right.
I would have all my stuff ready for my RN. Like, I got you. It's done, ready to go. Like,
Right.
let's go. And
So
they
would they not
loved
let
it.
you start the fluids and shit?
No. Mm-mm.
Why not? That don't make sense.
At the time, I don't
Is
think
that
it was
because the
allowed.
RN deal? It's probably because the DON didn't fucking know what you can take. Because even now, like in the hospitals, they don't even know what the fuck LVNs can and can't do.
Yeah.
So it makes
Yeah.
me crazy because we're supposed to be in charge of the LVN, but yet we don't even know what you fucking can and can't do. How stupid is
Exactly.
that? So
Exactly. And so I would get everything ready. I'm like, what do you want me to do next? Let's go.
right.
But I went on and I got my director of staff development. So I got my
Oh
IV
yeah.
blood draw certification. I went and actually West Med sought me out from my facility and asked me to come teach. But I had to
Yeah.
wait the 2 years. And that was one of my goals. I was like, I want to teach. I want to teach.
Do you
And so
still
they
have your
sat me down.
DSD?
I do.
Oh, me and you have to talk about that off screen because we could use that shit.
Okay, let's have a
Don't mean you can't.
conversation.
Yeah, I mean, are you keeping your nursing license active?
So far, I don't know yet. That's We'll
All
have
right.
that
Can
conversation.
you keep them active?
I'm not sure yet.
All right. We'll talk about that. Are we going to
Yeah,
talk
we'll
about that
talk about
here or off screen?
that maybe off screen.
Okay, that's
I don't
fine. All
know.
right.
Well, we'll see how this. We'll see.
Well, it's up to
We'll see.
you.
We
You
might.
talk about whatever you want, but I just, you know,
Yeah. No,
is it
definitely.
that
So
you
table
can't?
that one.
Is it that you can't keep them active, or you don't want to keep them active?
Well, I'm not. No, no, no. I want
Is it a
to.
legal issue?
No, 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 no.
Or then keep the
My
motherfuckers active.
license, yeah, my license is active. I'm in good standing. There's no legal issues or anything
So
like
then
that.
keep that bitch active, cause I can
Yeah,
use you, even though you may not be able to be at bedside, and I can still use you and abuse you.
yeah, yeah. So
All
mine
right.
is just medical stuff.
I got you, but still, if you
Yeah,
yeah, so I got you. That doesn't mean you can't keep your. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm gonna
We're
change your
gonna
thought
dive into
process. Yeah,
all that.
I'll change your thought
We'll
process and shit. I'm
we'll
gonna use.
see.
I'm gonna use you and
This is gonna
abuse
be
you.
fun. Yeah,
You ain't
this is
going to
gonna
see
be fun.
Jesus anytime soon, are you?
No,
All right
God,
then.
no.
So I'm
I
gonna
hope not.
abuse it now. What's
I
your
think it's
husband's
my
name?
time. John.
You tell John I'm gonna use and abuse his wife while I can.
And he's going to be like, okay, not a problem. But no, I love nursing school, and I loved, LVNs can do anything you set your mind out to do. I loved wounds. Wounds were my favorite. Wound vacs.
Mhm.
Oh, me and my wound vacs were. I would come in the middle of the night, nurse couldn't get it. So in my
What is it
nursing
about
role,
wombs that why do you love wombs so much?
I love watching them
Did you ever get
heal. I
womb
love the
certified?
progress. No, I didn't.
Mm,
That was
it's
one
all
of
right.
my goals.
For
I
you bitches
loved
out
it.
there, we do have a affiliation with the skilled nursing womb care, and you can get your womb certification online, bitches, if you want.
Oh, there
It's
you
only
go.
$299 or some shit like that. But
Nice, nice. But
anyway,
I
keep going.
loved it. I loved doing wounds because I was a unit manager, and so I would do all the wounds. Healing a stage 4 was absolutely
Yeah, but
amazing.
that's my question: is how can you stage wounds if you never had training and certification? Is that even legal for us? Is it? And I don't mean
Well,
just
that's
from an LVN standpoint. I'm talking about
a
from a
right
nursing standpoint because
in
they want
general.
us to stage wounds in the ED, but I'm like, I'm not staging that shit. I don't know what the fucking
Mhm.
stages are. Nobody taught me that shit.
Yeah.
Because can't you get in
We had
trouble?
we had a nurse that came in and a doctor that came in, and they staged it. It was
Oh,
an
I got you. I
RN
got you.
and a
Okay, okay.
doctor.
All right.
And so I couldn't stage it. I could only
Right.
describe it. And
Right.
so I just described what it
No, I
looked
got you.
like,
That's what I tell nurses.
and
Yeah.
then yeah, so you could just describe what it looks like and what it appears, and you got to be descriptive.
Right.
Paint a picture. And so but to watch it go, but I'm there taking care of it every damn day.
Right.
So I'm watching it go from what the worst to done. I was just like,
Like,
that's
yeah, but it makes you,
amazing.
yeah, because it makes you know that you're doing the right thing. You're making it better for the patient. You're making a difference.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
get that. I totally
Exactly.
get that.
And the other thing too that I loved about nursing, and my instructor was amazing. She was like, "Listen, you are not above your CNAs. They are not below you. You work
Right.
together as a team." And
Yeah.
I loved that. And I loved being a part of that team. And then it's multiple people. It's
Right.
dietary, it's physical therapy, it's
Right.
your CNAs, it's you, it's respiratory, it's whoever is involved. It's all of you together.
Well,
It's not just
we're
one.
trying to be that way still, but we still have nurses out there who feel that, I'm better than you because I'm higher than you. But I don't think that's appropriate. I don't think that we
It's
should look
not.
at it as a hierarchy. I mean, yes, I am
No.
over the LVNs, I am over the CNAs, but that's only because my license dictates that. But we're still a team, and if
Hmm.
you're part of my team, and if I don't treat you as a team, then we could fuck each other or the patient most of all stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, I get
Exactly.
that.
Patients number one. Number one, and working together
That
as
should
a
be
team. I
everybody's
would
goal is patient safety.
exactly. And
Yeah.
I would be my DON would be down in the trenches with me. We're given showers. We had a horrible flu come through the facility, and we had so many staff out. And it was her and I, okay, we're gonna start here and we're just gonna go. And
Yeah,
we
but do you
did.
think it's safe? I'm not saying you can't do it, but do you really think it's safe for them not to have ratios in nursing homes when you got fucking one
No,
LVN to like fucking 99 patients or
no.
two CNAs to 99 patients? I mean, I know why they won't because it's money, but how are we
Yeah.
effectively taking care of our patients?
We're not. We're not. And
Yeah.
that's the problem. And so for our staff to see, because we have floor nurses, you know what I mean? Like we had staff, but it was let us help out. When you see managements come down and they're
Yeah,
on the
that's nice.
floor, they're in the
I don't
trenches
see.
with you. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
That's
At least you had.
important.
Yeah, but I don't see that happening in my world and stuff.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I get that. All right, so we've kind of, even though I didn't ask you, you covered a lot of the questions because like I said, what motivated you to become a nurse? You told us that was your stepdad. And one question I said was, how do you think your background has influenced your approach to patient care? So we didn't talk about that, but seeing how you came from a kind of really fucked up background, your mom was a gambler. You moved around a lot. Your mom's brother, your uncle molested you. Your dad, who turned out to be not your. I know it's not funny, but I can't help it. Your dad, who
It's
turned
okay.
out not to be your fucking dad, died and shit. Really took a toll on you. How did that influence? Um, let's see. Like now, I lost my fucking question. Then shit. I was like, how do you think that background has influenced your approach to patient care?
Giving that caring and stability and empathy.
Do you think we
Uh,
lack empathy in nursing?
some, yes.
Yeah. Did you see? I
I
don't know.
do.
Did you even know I had a podcast?
No, I didn't.
So maybe like 3 or 4 episodes ago, I have this guy on. His name's Aaron Washburn, and on March 7th, you bitches, he's having a free webinar, which is Empathy Prescription. That's the title of his program, Empathy Prescription: How to Deal with Your Emotions as a Nurse. And
Hmm.
so his webinar is free for you motherfuckers. You only have 20 or 25 seats. So it's on our Facebook page, Instagram page, and shit. But I want people to have empathy because I don't think we have empathy for our patients.
We
So
don't
talk
because
about that. Why do you think empathy is important?
I think empathy
Because you
is
brought that
important
up.
because you don't know. A lot of people have gotten numb. A lot of nurses and healthcare have gotten numb
Yeah, but
to what
why?
we're seeing.
Yeah, but why?
I think it's the overload, and they don't have compassion for what that person's going through. They don't
Yeah, but
understand
why?
what they're going through.
So do you think that you have more empathy now that you're sick? Do you think that woke you up,
Yes.
or did you already have it more, or did
I
it
think
just
I
amplify it?
I think I amplified it. And the reason why I feel I amplified it is because I got without choice, I got put in a situation where I was now the patient. And I was mistreated when I was a patient.
And you were
In
a nurse when you were mistreated.
Yes,
Did you fucking
and
say anything to that
I
bitch
did. I
or
did.
bastard?
I did.
What'd you
I
say?
said
What'd
something
you
to
say
that
to them?
bitch.
Him or her?
Um,
Him or her?
it was a her. It was a
Oh
her.
shit!
And I was there the first round of my medical stuff that started in 2014. So this happened 2016. I had to learn how to walk, and I had to learn how to eat and learn how to use my hands again and all of that. I had emergency surgery, and we'll get into that. But I was at this facility, and
Central
they
Valley Specialty Hospital.
mhm.
Ah, how
Well,
did I fucking know?
it was
How did I
no.
fucking know
So
that shit?
It was San Joaquin Rehabilitation.
Oh, here in Fresno.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. All right, all
And
right.
so
Janie,
I
you can
was
bleep that out if you want, but I don't give a shit. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a fact. That's where you were. So we're not talking
that's
shit
where I
about them.
was. No,
Yeah.
no. That's where I was. And I knew it was busy, and so as a nurse and knowing and taking care of patients, like I'm not trying to bug you. You do you. I understand. I'm good. I'm not going to ask for anything unless I absolutely need it. And I think that this individual was overwhelmed and whatnot, but didn't
Yeah,
bring me
but
my
even if
pain
you're
meds.
overwhelmed, doesn't mean you can't fucking be nice about it. Doesn't mean you can't have
Exactly.
empathy and compassion.
Yeah, exactly. And so she didn't give me my pain meds and said it was too soon. And I said, "What?" I said, "I have routine plus I have breakthrough and I'm in pain." I had a corpectomy. So they removed C5 to C7 vertebrae and discs. So they put in a cage and a plate because my spinal cord was being crushed and was only open, they said it was like 6 millimeters, and it had already started atrophying above and below. So I had to have emergency surgery at Stanford. And I was in Stanford for about 2 weeks, and then they transferred me. I had to go to inpatient rehabilitation. At that time, Amberry wasn't open here in Merced.
Mm.
Um, so for post acute, so I went to Fresno, and so I was in a lot of pain. And she didn't give it to me, didn't give it to me. My CNA came and checked on me, and she was like, "She has not come in yet." And I was like, "No," I was like, "I'm in so much pain." Came again, then she was rude
You just
and
seeking drugs.
right, pretty much. And I was like, "Ma'am, like I'm like I have the scar. Like what do we do? I'm in a neck brace. Like this is horrible." And
Yeah,
then
but we're jaded. We're jaded when it comes to pain. Nursing and
exactly.
pain, we're jaded and shit.
Yeah, and so she refused, and then fine, and then it was shift change, and the new nurse gave it to me. And I said, "I want to speak to your supervisor." And so they brought the supervisor in that night, and I talked to the supervisor and I had said what happened. And at that time, I had my employment status, it was blank because
Right.
I didn't want to go in and people know that I was a nurse
Right.
because I'm not
Right.
looking
Right.
for special
Right.
treatment.
Right.
I don't need you to know that I'm a nurse because then, when you're taking care of another nurse, you feel some type of way. You
Right.
feel like I'm being
You,
judged.
right.
Like
You
I
do.
feel like
Right? That's
state's
why I never
watching
tell
me.
anybody I'm
Like
a nurse when I go in and shit, because I don't
exactly.
want nobody to fucking freak out and
I
get all crazy.
no, I
Mm.
same. And so when I spoke to the supervisor, I had told her, everything, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Did it? I was like, "Okay," and she's like, "You're good." I was like, "Yeah, I'm good now." I was like, "My CNA is amazing." I gave major kudos to my CNA. The next morning, I called my husband. I told him what happened. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is ridiculous." I was like, "I'm just in so much pain." And then I ended up having the DON, the administrator, in my room the next day. And I was like,
Do you think they
okay.
found out you were a nurse?
Yeah. So I was
Did you
like,
tell them, or
oops.
how'd they find out?
Um, I ended up telling the day supervisor because she came in and checked on me.
Mm.
And then I had requested not to have that nurse again. Well,
Oh
so then
yeah.
that nurse got spoken to. Then that
Oh shit.
nurse came
Came and
to
talked
me.
to you. Oh
Yes,
shit.
she did. And I said, well, okay.
Wait,
So I
wait, wait, hold
sat
on. What did
there.
she say to you first of all? What did that bitch say? You better
She
tell me
says,
what her name is offline so I can fuck with this bitch.
I'm telling you. So she comes in and she says, I understand that you went to my supervisor last night and you
I did,
complained about
bitch.
me.
Yes,
I
I
said,
did.
yes, I did. I said, I requested my pain medication. You refused to give it to me. I said, you were late to give me my schedule and I was requesting breakthrough. I said, because I'd already gone now 6 hours without pain medicine. I said, I couldn't even sleep. I was in so much pain and this and that. And I said, and you were rude about it. And I said, I said, it's funny that you're in here. I said, and you're confronting me and you're talking to me about you being spoken to. I said, you understand that this is considered retaliation and that you're not allowed to go
Oh,
and confront your patients,
that's
right?
right.
So then I started spitting policy and procedure and state operating manual. And I said, she looked at me, she stepped back, and she
Right.
says, you're a nurse?
Yes,
And
I
I said,
am, bitch.
yes, I am. I said, I sure am. And she like looked at me, she's like, well, why didn't you tell me that? I said, why would I
I
tell you
don't.
that?
Yeah. Why do I need to
I don't
tell you
need
that? You
to.
should treat every patient the same. You fucking motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
And I said, and I do not want you as my nurse from here on out.
right.
I said, and I
What
would
she
like
say
to
about
speak to
that?
your supervisor.
Again, I'm
She
gonna
just
talk
was
to that
like,
bitch again.
oh, I tell you.
So you
Oh,
talked to them again
so
about her coming in,
I did. I
and
did.
what they say?
I did. They
Is
were
that
like,
when the
what? And I said,
DON? Is that when the
the
DON and them came
DON
in? Yeah, because it's not
administrator,
appropriate.
social services came in. I said, I would like to file a formal complaint. I said, and
Yeah.
she's lucky that I am not going to the state board because I can file a complaint against her. I said,
Right.
this is unethical. I said,
Right.
there was the lack of empathy, there was no compassion. And then I always asked and taught my students, like, how would you feel if that was you or your loved one in that
Yeah.
bed? Or they come in, treat them as you would treat your loved one,
Right.
and that was big to me. And we lack that.
Did the nurse say anything to you after you put her in her place?
No, I never saw her again.
But she never said anything right at that moment when you.
I stunned her.
She's
Her
like,
jaw was on
whoa.
the floor and she walked out. I was like,
Mm,
I, no, I was like, I'm not going
no.
to use that unless
I
I
wonder if
have
they.
to.
I wonder if she still stayed there as an employee.
I don't know.
That'd be fun to
I don't
find out.
know. I know. I still
I know,
have
but
my
why be
record.
me? Yeah, but why be me? Because when my daughter, my not my oldest daughter, but my next oldest daughter, her name's Emily. She was in closed community when she was a baby. She was in the ICU for a week, and she had an IV in her hand or foot. I don't remember where the fuck it was, but I didn't tell anybody I was a nurse either. But I went in to hold her because they let you in to hold her and shit. And I saw that her IV was infiltrated, and I said to the nurse, I wasn't mean about it. I just said, hey, Alicia, when you get a chance, can you fucking check this out? Because I think there's something wrong with it. And she turns, you're fucking not a nurse right now. You're a father. And I said, you're right. As a father, I said, it makes me upset that you wouldn't take the time to look at it. But as a nurse, it's fucking bitches like you who give motherfuckers like me a bad name. And I said, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't like your job, fucking retire. If you're talking to
Mm-hmm.
me this way, I can't imagine how you talk to normal people who don't even know what the fuck's going on. I said, you shouldn't be
Exactly.
a fucking cunt. And she started crying and shit. But I didn't care because, I mean, why be mean to people? Like, if you can't
No,
have passion and empathy for your patients and for your coworkers, get the fuck on and do something else and shit. We got enough problems with
exactly.
that shit. Right?
This is
So
not for you. And you can tell who's in it for money and who's in it because they want to be in it.
I think we have a lot of people in today's nursing. I could be wrong, and if you get mad at me, well, fuck all you motherfuckers. I just think that we don't have a lot of compassion, and
No.
I think we have a lot of people in it for nursing and stuff. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
for the money and stuff. So
Yeah.
how do you handle the emotional toll that comes with working in the healthcare, especially considering all the past struggles that you've been through?
I re-ground myself. I have to, I stop myself and I take a moment and I take the time with the patient. When I can see that they're struggling and yeah, it might hit that little nerve or bring a memory. I kind of, once I finish everything, I spend more time with them and I just give them my reassurance and let them know you're going to be okay. Trust me. I went from bedridden, incontinent, wheelchair bound for 4 years, and I did the work, and then here I am. You can do it. So giving
So
them
you
that
said you were
hope and that
bedridden.
helps me.
You
Hmm.
said you were bedridden, wheelchair bound, incontinent for how long?
4 years.
4 years. Did you get any bed sores?
No,
All right. Did you use a Pure Wick?
no, I did not.
All
I
right.
had a bedside.
Are you still bedridden?
Not currently, no.
All right. Is it possible that it could happen?
Yes.
And then are you wheelchair bound still?
I just got my custom wheelchair.
Oh, look at you, fancy ass. Got electric one, driving and
No,
shit.
I can, I'm gonna attach one to it. So they have a motor. We're trying to keep me from not having muscle atrophy. So I'm
I
trying to
got you.
stay
So
as mobile
do
as
you do
possible.
so do you have any way to do active range, I mean passive range of motion to keep that from happening?
Yes. And I go
Do
to
you have a
physical
full-time
therapy.
do you have a full-time nurse at home or does your husband take care of you?
My husband takes care of me.
Full-time?
Um, I'm home alone all the time, but my
Mm.
husband takes care of me when he gets home.
Oh, so if tomorrow when I come to see you, it's just gonna be me and you?
Yeah.
Oh, is he gonna be jealous and shit?
No, he already
All
knows you're
right.
coming.
Oh shit,
You're
I know,
good.
but he don't know me
You're
though,
good.
does he?
No, but you're good.
He
No,
knows I'm
and
a
I
ODB. You know what a
what's that?
ODB? Old dirty bastard.
You two fit right in. But no, so I don't have to use my wheelchair every day. I have my walker and I have a cane, but I know
Now
my
we
house,
now,
so
but I
I
have.
can get
Do you
through.
have wheelchair ramp?
No. Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because we just got the wheelchair and we're debating on if we put a ramp in the front door. Well, you'll see when you come.
All
It's
right.
not a big lip, like I could go backwards.
Okay,
But
but my question is
generally,
this: I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to fuck up the next couple episodes. But was the accident your fault? Was it work related? Was it something else?
it was past domestic violence.
Oh, so that way, the only reason why I ask is if it's something
Yeah.
that's work related or somebody else caused it, you could have maybe got them to pay for that shit.
Yeah. So my
But because
insurance
it's,
paid for my wheelchair.
I don't. But why don't they pay for a fucking ramp?
Yeah.
So
I
maybe
didn't
there's some
even,
organizations out there, you
yeah.
bitches. Maybe there's organizations that we could tap into that could help nurses who aren't able to work, like they used to, and they're medically fragile now. And maybe there's some organizations that can help come to your house and build your ramp and shit. So if you guys know
Yeah.
anybody out there, don't be fucking afraid to help out nurses. Because we don't,
Yeah.
this is a big thing. I talk about nurses who are travel nurses, things like that. They may not have workers' comp insurance or anything, and so they get hurt on a job and they just fucking get thrown to the curb. Because I have another story now. I don't want to talk about it too much. Maybe she'll come on too, but she's a friend of mine and she's a colleague. We work together. She was in a car accident and she's like
Mm.
totally fucked up. And the car accident was while she was at for the work.
Oh.
And she told me yesterday they want, and she's been on workers' comp, but now she's coming. She's still on workers' comp, but she's on light duty and shit. They want her like you to have surgery and all this, which could fuck her up like you. They want to fucking demote her, not even demote her. They want to take away her pay, and they want her to quit because she can't go do home visits anymore. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like,
Mhm.
this fucking bitch is dedicating her life for you, doing a great job. She got hurt on the job because of your job. You should take care of her. Why would you want to get rid of her because
Mhm.
she can't do the same job she used to do? Find something else she can do to be a better part of the team. That's craziness. Like, that's the
Yep.
shit that makes me nuts and stuff. So,
Yep.
all right,
That yeah. Well,
I know
mhm.
how fucked up is this world, right? But
Oh, yeah.
I know, but
Just
we need you to
wait.
get you. I'm gonna bring some fucking sage or some shit and burn at your motherfucking house and shit. I am. I got sage in my closet. I'm gonna bring that shit in because I don't want you giving me your evil spirits and
I
shit.
got ooh, no. I got sage. I actually have sage and
Yeah, I
it's
don't
in
trust
my
your fucking
shelf.
sage. Fuck you and your sage. I'm gonna bring my own
Oh,
sage.
wow.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
bring
burn
your
it in my
own.
house. I'm gonna burn
Bring
it
your
in.
own.
I'm gonna burn it on me and your house and shit. All right. So can you share? I know we're going long, Jane, but just love us, okay? Can you share a particular challenging situation you faced as a nurse and how you overcame it? So look, right now, this is challenging, even though it's
Yeah.
not kind of nurse related. You are a nurse, and you got abused in your older days by your previous husband. I'm guessing.
Mhm.
Is that how you got in this situation?
Yes.
So what did he do, and how does it brought you to here now?
So
And
he
why do
was
women put up with that fucking shit?
I have answers.
I know.
So he liked to choke me.
Oh,
His automatic
wait,
was he
for
went to the
fun?
throat.
For fun,
No,
sexual, or just
no,
because it was a
no.
control thing?
No, it was a control thing and
Mm.
he was really angry and unstable. And so that
Did you
was
kill
just
that
his
motherfucker?
no,
Oh
no.
shit.
There's a whole spin. So, he used to choke me a lot and throw me or drag me through the house by my hair, and then, we separated. It took me a year to legally get everything planned secretively to get out safely with me and my kids. So I'd finally had enough, and I said, "I can't raise my
How many
children
kids
in
you
this
got with him?
environment." Well, all 6 are with him. So the older 4 we adopted together, and the 2 are with him.
But the two, not the adopted ones. I'm talking about the natural ones you had out your
2.
vagina
My
with
2.
him. All right.
My
So
2.
you and your current husband don't have kids together?
No.
He's probably like, got enough of that shit. I got enough to deal with already and shit.
Yeah. My youngest was 15 months old when my husband and
All
I
right.
got
All
together.
right. All
Yeah.
right. Your current husband.
So, my current husband.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. So your
And
first
so
husband liked to drag you, choke you,
yeah, and then it got really bad on my daughter's birthday, my older daughter's 4th birthday,
but did
and
he ever
he was
physically
mad.
abuse them?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
All
And
right.
then so he dropped me 4 feet from our porch.
What
That
the fuck?
caused Tarlov cysts in my lower spine at S1 and
Caused
S2.
what?
Tarlov cysts.
Spell that for us.
Tarlovs. Cysts.
Tarloff's cyst. All right.
Tarlov cysts.
All
Hmm.
right. Now I got
So
fucking homework to do and shit.
you do. You
Thank you.
do. So they're also known as perineal cysts, but the difference is about the last time I did research on it. So 11% of people in the world have Tarlov cysts that cause symptoms. Perineal cysts don't cause symptoms. Tarlov cysts cause the pain. That's what was causing my incontinence. Um,
Is
there's
it
no
do they
surgery.
put does it put pressure on the spinal cord and those nerve areas? Is that what it's doing?
Yes. Yes.
And
So it
causing
started
you to becoming
eroding.
mm,
Yeah, so S1, S2 control our saddle area.
right.
So where you'll get numbness and incontinence of bowel and bladder. And they mine were pressing, they thought I had 2. When they did experimental surgery to see if they could go in and pack them, um, it was eroding away at the sacrum. So they actually had to take out part of my sacrum to allow room
So you have
for it.
poor sacral sparing.
Yes.
Do you know what that means?
No.
That
but
means if I poke your butthole, is it gonna be tight or is it gonna be kind of loose?
loose.
So that is poor sacral sparing. That's for you TNCC motherfuckers. All right, keep going.
And so I had surgery there, and then the next surgery was like a year later. Um,
What was the
and
next surgery
then
from? So wait, we
so
went
that
from wait, hold on. We went from your
I'm getting
asshole
there.
back up to your neck.
Yes. So
Holy shit! Is
because
it? Is
3 months after the surgery of the back,
what?
that's when
Where
I
did it?
went
Wait, wait. Let's go back. What did they do on your back surgery? One more time.
on the back at S1, S2. They were doing experimental surgery to try to dehiss the cysts.
I got you. Okay. I got you. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
And so then I was good. I felt better for 3 months. And then all of the sudden, my right arm wasn't working. My right leg stopped working.
Holy shit!
I was
After the
having
surgery.
yeah. And so then I went back to the neurosurgeon at Stanford and he did the hand test checking my grips. And he says, I need to send you for a stat MRI right now. And so he did. And he's like, oh, no, no, no. And so they did 3D MRI on my neck. And so that's when they seen it was being compressed. My spinal cord was being compressed in my neck.
What was that from?
C5
Though,
to
from him
C7.
choking you?
They said
Yeah.
they deemed it was from past trauma.
But trauma from him choking, trauma
From
from
him.
him dropping you.
Yeah. From him choking me.
Mm, that's craziness, isn't it?
Yeah. hmm And to deal with it like 15 years later.
Right, because
That
this
was,
happened 15 years ago.
yeah,
All right.
at that time. Like it was crazy to relive the trauma because now it's affecting me physically.
Right, but back then, not only did it affect you emotionally and physically, now you're having to go through the whole. Now you're being re-traumatized all over
Yes.
again. Because
Yes.
now, because of those decisions to stay with that motherfucker,
Yeah.
now you're having to suffer,
Yeah.
and it's
And I
changing your
stayed with
life
him. Yeah. And I stayed with him because,
because of the fucking
you know,
kids.
I held out hope because of the
Because women
kids,
think they
all
can
of that.
change men.
And yes.
Because
And we can't.
women
And so
think they can
then
change people. Guess what?
they do.
Guess what,
We can't.
ladies? You can't fucking change nobody.
Nope.
All right.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to stop you right here because we're
Mm-hmm.
going to continue this on the
Yep.
next episode.
Okay.
So here we are. This is part 2 with Alicia Tresidder. Ah, I'm getting better at that shit, huh?
Getting
So we're
better.
talking
Getting
about
better.
we're talking about her life. We started our last episode. We talked about her childhood, growing up, how she got really fucked up from that, and now we're getting into the depths of her maybe midlife, younger life to midlife, of how she
Mhm.
was abused by her first husband and shit. So we'll stop right there, and we'll see you next time for the next episode. Or not, I keep saying fuck this episode. Fuck you, Jay. For the next part, interview 3 with Alicia Tresidder. All right, bitches. We hope you stay tuned because it's gonna get interesting. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.